Alright, so those shouldn't have been too tough for you. So let's pull in some old info and old things that we've learned and take a look at number 3. Here it gives us the acceleration, and that A of t represents the acceleration in feet per second squared. It says when t equals 0, velocity is equal to 0. We want to find the total distance from 0 to 5. Well, that's not tough if we have velocity. Remember, total distance is equal to the definite integral from A to B of absolute value of velocity. Problem is we don't have the velocity equation right now. We have A and B, but no velocity equation. We need to figure that out from the information given. Remember, velocity is the antiderivative of acceleration. So if we take the antiderivative of that, we're going to get velocity equals antiderivative of square root of 9 minus t. So this is where we're going to have to go ahead and use u substitution again. U would be equal to 9 minus t, because that's inside the square root. So du is negative 1 dt. So we can multiply the inside by negative 1, outside by negative 1. We get negative square root of u, or u to the 1/2, du. So if we do the antiderivative of that, we're adding 1 to the exponent. So we get u to the 3/2. Multiply by the reciprocal, so 2/3. Still have a negative out in front, plus c. So here we want to substitute the 9 minus t back in, right? When we have a plus c, it's not a definite integral. We're plugging that back in for u. So negative 2/3 times 9 minus t to the 3/2 plus c. Well, that whole plus c thing's not going to help us much. We need the actual exact velocity equation. But they do give us a little bit more information. They tell us that when t is 0, velocity is 0. So if we put 0 in for t, we get 0 out for the velocity. That's going to allow us to find c. We get negative 2/3 times 9 minus 0, so just 9 to the 3/2 plus c. Remember, 9 to the 3/2, we're cubing and taking the square root. So I'm going to square root first, just easier that way. You could do it either way. Square root of 9 is 3. 3 cubed is 27. So if we take 27 times negative 2/3, we end up getting negative 18. So c comes out to be 18. That means our velocity is going to be negative 2/3 times 9 minus t to the 3/2 plus 18. Now that we have the velocity, finding the total distance is not too tough. We just have to plug it in. So we have the definite integral from 0 to 5, remember they gave us that, of the absolute value of negative 2/3 times 9 minus t to the 3/2 plus 18 dt. So in our calculator, it's kind of a lot to put in there. We're doing math 9, and then math, move it over 1 to NUM, and we're doing absolute value. Negative 2/3. So I'm going to put the negative 2/3 in parentheses. Then times 9 minus x to the 3/2. I need to put that 3/2 in parentheses. Plus 18. So now I have to close the parentheses for the absolute value. Remember, all of that stuff's in the absolute value. So a lot of times with absolute value, people forget that and they get an error. Comma x, comma 0, comma 5. So we get 33.73 repeating, and this one we can actually convert to a fraction. We get 506 over 15. And that's measured in feet. So this one we can give it an approximate. So 33.733.